The bear, the bees, and the hot spring. The plateau they entered was crawling with fawns. They were jumping and chasing each other, then scattering into the brush. The man with the face like a shriveled apple killed a couple, gutted them, and packed the meat. Just as they were climbing over a fallen log, a massive grizzly, just lounging on the other side, reared up on its hind legs. "Son of a goddamn bitch!" the Neanderthal yelled in his ancient tongue. An arrow hit the bear dead in the chest. The beast doubled over with a yelp, but it snatched up one of the guys, hoisting him off the ground. The poor bastard thrashed around, dangling from the bear's mouth while its massive paws pinned him. The man with the face like a shriveled apple notched another arrow, ready to fire. "That thing is a cold-blooded bastard," the Neanderthal shouted. The arrow missed the mark and slammed into a nearby trunk, vibrating. The bear hauled ass, clearing the area in a few leaps, its rear end waddling through the vegetation. Then it vanished, along with its dinner, into the thick of the trees. They headed down the mountains through a deep gorge, following a narrow path spotted with mountain goat droppings. On the way down to the valley, they lost another guy. Screaming at the top of his lungs, the unlucky soul slipped down the gorge wall, rolling like a ball of yarn, until he vanished completely. The man with the face like a shriveled apple looked up for a second, like there was a god up there he wanted to curse out. They finally set up camp near the site of the tragedy. A long column of smoke rose into the sky. "The bees I raise," the man with the face like a shriveled apple said, "are as big as olives, and the payoff is way better." Then he poured the honey from a kind of flask into the Neanderthal's mouth. It was a thick golden nectar, dripping slow. "Let me tell you something," the wrinkled man said. "The first time I got stung, it put an end to all my doubts. It hurt, sure, but it was a pain I could live with. Now I just take the occasional sting with a little patience. I couldn't have picked a more satisfying hobby." The next morning, they stumbled onto a hot spring and decided to take a breather. The Neanderthal couldn't even remember the last time he'd had a bath. They stripped off their furs and one by one stepped into the water. Everyone had old scars branching out over their skin like deformed centipedes. With slow strokes, the Neanderthal waded toward the center of the spring. His hair floated around him, drifted by the warm water that wrapped his body in a cozy hug. For once, all he could hear were happy voices. At the center of the spring, a cluster of rocks poked through the surface. The Neanderthal perched between two of them, watching the water slowly turn into a stew of clotted blood and filth.